welcome back to my channel. We're back to weekly videos, and after a long Earth Month challenge, I wanted to kick off going back to just my normal schedule by talking about COVID-19 and climate change. Now, there are a lot of angles we can tackle this issue. We'll start with how these issues are actually very similar and highlight some important problems with how we as society handle a crisis. Although climate change and COVID-19 have very different timelines, they are both issues that involve immediate and drastic action, and millions of people will be affected if nothing is done. When government and industry downplay the magnitude of risk, deny scientific facts, disseminate false information, and obfuscate the truth for political or financial gain, we lose precious time in mobilizing action to save lives. This is why we have thousands of people dying a day from a pandemic. Now, at the time of me recording this video, the death rate has started to go down in a lot of places in the US, and the number of people infected has also started to go down a bit too. However, this doesn't mean we can lighten up on our different stay-at-home orders and everything. It just means we need to double down and keep working hard to keep the rate going down. It also means it's a perfect time to talk about why this is an important issue and why we need to continue to take action and why we should have taken action a lot faster than we did. Our reaction to climate change for decades at this point has been about the same as how we've treated COVID-19. Deny scientists, spread false information, deny facts, and put political and financial gain first. Just like COVID-19, if nothing is done to manage climate change, it's very possible we'll see the same results in the near future. Despite the lackluster response to COVID-19 in some parts of the world, United States, this could also be a wake-up call. The United States in particular has done a terrible job of responding to this illness, and that is why it has taken so long to start to see the death rate go down as well as the number of cases go down. And even then, we still have tons of people protesting the stay-at-home orders and all that mess. Despite all that, people are starting to realize that band-aid solutions and short-term solutions just don't work with serious issues like this. Because if you just go with a band-aid solution, it can result in the death of millions. We are seeing right now the effects of not listening to experts and putting the health and safety of the public behind dollar signs. Now, all we need to do is remember this and apply it to other issues, including climate change. Now, on paper, this sounds easy, but in reality, it's still going to be hard. People forget very quickly, and with all the protests against the stay-at-home orders, as I've said, it is clear there are some people that just don't get it, and that some people just won't listen and will put their own needs and their own feelings above what would be best for the majority. However, and a very big however, I would argue these people protesting are just a loud minority. Yes, there are still a lot of people out there protesting still, but there are even more staying at home, following CDC guidelines, and listening to experts to do what they can to stop the spread of this disease. The much larger majority recognizes the risk of not staying at home and not wearing a mask. It's just this small minority is very loud, and honestly, to the media, that loud minority that a lot of people disagree with will increase their viewership more than filming a bunch of people staying at home. So it can seem like a much larger amount than there actually is. The challenge now is making everyone see how these ideas need to be transferred over to the climate crisis. If we can do that, we can make some serious change finally start to happen. Now, I rambled on a lot about that, so let's finally get to the last topic I want to address today, and that topic is actually a question. Will the decrease in CO2 emissions and other forms of pollution due to the pandemic have a lasting or meaningful impact on climate change? Now, unfortunately, the answer is probably no. A large reason why emissions have gone down is because we aren't traveling as much. Routine trips like commuting, those miles left untraveled during the pandemic aren't going to be coming back, which is good. You're not going to travel to the office twice a day to make up for all the times you worked from home. But routine travel is not the only kind of travel that there is. A lot of people had to cancel vacations because of the pandemic, but it's very likely they will reschedule their trip when travel is safe again. I know I'm personally getting a little bit of cabin fever, and so I'm feeling the need to get out and go somewhere. And I know I am not the only one. I just can't be the only one that wants to go on vacation right now. I'm kind of tired of being stuck in my apartment so much. I want to go out and do things, which is understandable. It's something we all want. We like time off, we like being able to visit our friends and family, and unfortunately that just involves some recreational travel. And as a result of people suddenly making tons of trips again after the pandemic is over, well, this will result in emissions from unnecessary travel that didn't happen during the pandemic to just be pushed back and occur at a later date. Now, there have been examples of historical pandemics that have had an impact on climate, but this impact was usually due to massive death tolls, and I'm pretty sure we do not want that. You might remember from your little history class learning about the mini ice age after all the Black Plague mess, but seriously, that was because a third of the European population died. I really don't think we want a third of the world's population to die. Instead, the best case scenario from this pandemic is to learn from it. People are starting to see and actually feel what it's like to have cleaner air, and hopefully then they can ask themselves, why can't we have this all the time? And from there, demand change. It might take a bit of effort for everyone to realize and connect the dots. But if we just enforce the idea that the reason we are seeing cleaner air, cleaner water right now, and all of that right now, is because we're just staying at home and not polluting as much, people will hopefully remember that and learn from it and want change to happen. But that is something we have to enforce and encourage. We can't just expect people to figure it out on their own, because clearly that doesn't always work. We have to make sure people understand and know why emissions have gone down and how this has had a drastic impact on the quality of even just the air outside. We need to demand more. And it starts with learning about this and just showing people the impact that something as simple as staying at home has had on the environment so far. That way we can work towards making it a permanent thing. Will it happen right away? I highly doubt it. But hopefully with this experience, we can help people become educated more on climate change and hopefully make bigger changes in their lives and work to demand change finally. Whatever we do, we just can't go back to business as usual. We have to keep pushing forward, and now is the time to demand more and encourage other people to demand more as well. I think I've rambled on for a very long time now. This has gone far too long, and it's definitely not going to be in under 5 now because there's no way I'm cutting it down. But that's all the time I have for today. Thank you so much for watching, and if you liked today's video, make sure to leave a like down below, that way I know. And also subscribe to the channel to join the journey to living more sustainably. If you'd like to keep up on my own journey to living more sustainably in between uploads, you can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, which are all linked down below. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.